Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Living Large Las Vegas. My name is Kobe Sherlock, and today, back in the lab, Mr. Derek Parent. Derek, say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello.
Listeners, today we are bringing to you a very special guest and a good friend and somebody who's really leading the way here in Las Vegas, and more specifically in Henderson. We have with us Captain Eric Buck of the Henderson Police Department. Captain Buck, please say hello to all the listeners.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Man, we are super thankful that you are joining us today. Just to share a little bit about you and what we're up to in Henderson, and really all the positive things that we have going, and a little bit more about your expertise and things that some of our listeners may not know. So first and foremost, can you share a little bit about yourself and your background and where you're from?
Sure. So I was born and raised in Orange County, California, in Anaheim. Moved here 26 years ago. I moved out to Vegas. I worked at a truck store for many years. Then I worked at a bank doing fraud investigations. 20 years ago, I was picked up by the Henderson Police Department, and I moved to Henderson at that time. And been a Henderson resident ever since.
Man, Henderson, from everything that I hear from our guests that are business leaders in Henderson, Henderson's changed a lot in 20 years. What's it been like for you in the change of the city and really the growth, right? Because that's what we know is happening in Henderson at a high level.
Well, the growth has been huge. So when I hired on back in 2000, we were just picking up the growth, and then we hit the peak at around 07, 08, and so as far as a law enforcement perspective, it created all kinds of new challenges and situations throughout the city. And then in 08, when things crashed, luckily my job is resilient to depressions in the economy, and it created a whole new set of we had to approach the job totally differently. Our resources went away. We were facing a new dynamic. Things were changing. We had to keep up with the times. We had to do more with less. We learned how to do more with less. And then recently, the economy's been picking back up. However, our resources haven't really kept pace. But luckily, we're in the habit of doing more with less. So that's kind of the challenge today, is to keep on with the growth. We got to keep up.
Yeah, and with all the growth, I mean, you guys are in the middle of hiring right now too, right?
Oh, huge. We just that's an exciting thing, actually. Thanks for bringing that up, Derek. We last year we started our own academy for the city of Henderson, so that was a big move for us, big step. We're hiring. We've got about, I think, 25 vacancies we're trying to fill now. So we're always looking for good people in the community. We're looking for stakeholders that want to work in the public service sector. We can always use more good people.
Yeah, I know. For me, living in Henderson, I moved there 3 years ago, and I've been here for 20. Moved there 3 years ago, but we love seeing the growth, and the Henderson Police Department, honestly, they're everywhere in a good way. Always giving back. You guys do some amazing things. What's some of the with all the growth that has gone on, like Executive Airport and all the newer businesses coming in. Has that affected you guys in any way?
Oh, absolutely. So the growth is. It's the biggest thing that everyone sees is traffic. That's huge. So what that does for the police department is that it affects our response time. So we have certain milestones and things we like to hit as far as how quick we respond to calls for service. The traffic plays a huge part in that, and the biggest challenge is out Inspirada, Anthem, the places that are growing quickly. So we are in the very beginning phases of planning a new station out near Inspirada. So hopefully we'll get a whole new group of people out there and be able to give better services in the growing area.
That's your neck of the woods, man. That's good to hear.
Well, there's lots of stuff going on out there. It'd be nice to see something else. I mean, there's so much growth going on in that Inspirada area. It's unbelievable.
Captain Buck, it's not often that that our listeners really get to hear, from a personal experience when it comes to your, title and what you're up to in Henderson. Can you tell us some things maybe you've been proud of over the course of your career there in Henderson? Maybe it's with the department or maybe it's accomplishments with your team. Anything that really stands out over the course of your career there?
One thing that sticks out is really our community involvement that I've seen grown. And maybe it's just my position in the department, but the longer time goes on, the more we leverage our community stakeholders to help us do our job better. So, for example, we can't have cameras all over the city. If I could have a camera everywhere, that would be great. Nobody really wants that, right? But we do have programs where we can leverage the community to use their cameras. So we have what's called the Capture program. And anybody can go online and go to cityofhenderson.com and navigate the website and find the police department's Capture program. And what that is you simply sign up your name. So Derek could go on and say, this is my name, this is my phone number, this is my address, and I have cameras on my house. That's it. We don't have access to your cameras or anything. But what we can do is if we have a crime on Derek's street, we can pull up his name and go, oh, Derek's got cameras on his street. So we'll call him, go, hey, Derek, we had a burglary on your street last night around 3 a.m. Would you mind checking your cameras? And if you see any vehicles going up and down the street or anything suspicious, please email it to us. So what we're able to do with programs like that is leverage thousands of cameras across the valley to help us solve crimes. Additionally, we're signing up right now. We're in the beginning phases of signing up with Ring Doorbell. Ring has an app called Ring Neighbors. It's completely free. You don't even have to have a Ring device to have the app, and it's free to the police department too. And what it does is it allows us, people with this Neighbors app, we can put out blasts in geographical areas. So I can, I'll use Derek as an example again. I can send out a blast to his neighborhood and say, hey, we had a crime last night. Anybody with video of anything happening between 3 and 6 a.m., please send it to me. And it's completely voluntary. You can ignore it, or you can send me the video, and that has been huge for us lately. We have solved more crimes with private video cameras. That's the way it's going in the future. That's how we're gonna do more with less and leverage our community members to help us solve crimes.
It's technology, really, right?
That's wild,
because
man.
you used to have the neighborhood crime watchdog, remember?
Yep.
And now
McGruff.
we have McGruff. Right?
Yeah.
Now we have I would love to sign up for that because I think that's
I will too.
That's important because if anyone, that helps everyone, helps your neighborhood. That goes into home ownership, sense of pride. I was in Seven Hills yesterday visiting a friend of mine, and I just noticed like every house has like cameras in the windows, like upper windows, and it was a gated community, but you're seeing much more. Every home is pretty much going to camera technology. So if this can help lower crime, I don't think, compared to Las Vegas, what's the crime rate in Henderson?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, but we're considerably lower.
Yeah. So if we do our part as people that live in Henderson and help the police department solve crimes, I don't want to say solve crimes because we're not detectives, right? But we can give the information over to help. That's huge.
Yeah, if anything, that kind of message, and I feel like you could probably confirm this is mostly an assumption, but I feel like that message that neighborhoods are taking these efforts, it probably will help be a little preventative as well. I don't think anybody looking to steal things from homes is going to want to mess with the neighborhoods that are, locked in with cameras and connected to the police department.
No, and another point on that, thanks for bringing it up, is Neighborhood Watch. It's kind of it's an older program, Neighborhood Watch, but really if you think about what's Neighborhood Watch, it brings neighbors together. It sparks the conversation between you and your neighbors, which here in Vegas, we don't always know our neighbors. The neighborhoods that do have considerably less crime because your best security for your home is your neighbors. Your neighbors know they know when you go to work, they know when you come home, they know when the maintenance guy is there. If you have a pool man, they know he comes every Wednesday at 3 p.m. or whatever. So your neighbors are your best eyes and ears to know if something is amiss at your house, if something's happening there that shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's funny because my neighbor Al, I recently went on a trip and I asked him, we went back for, hey, can you keep an eye on my house? And he did. His son is a Las Vegas Metro police officer.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Yeah, and he just, he's really, really nice guy, and he kept an eye on my house when I was away.
Right.
Man, I tell you, I'm super, curious because I know about the community involvement, and of course I know a little bit about what you guys are up to and how you got connected. Yeah. Can you guys share a little bit, and maybe Captain Buck, if I can start with you, can you share a little bit about how Henderson Leadership's been?
Henderson Leadership's been great. So it's a program that the City Chamber of Commerce puts on. It puts different leaders throughout the community together in one room where you get to know each other on a more intimate level. We spent a weekend together. We weren't allowed to say our last names or where we worked. So I got to know Derek as a person. He got to know me. He had no idea what I did for a living. I had no idea what he did. So it was Eric and Derek talking. It wasn't, police officer and a real estate guy. So it was great. So you get to know a handful of people. I think our class has 34 people in it. And then you get a project. You have a time period where the group gets together. They have it's a nonprofit group, and then we do a project for a deserving program in the community. So we chose
It's I Care for Kids.
I Care for Kids, right? So we're helping them build out an office over at Taylor Elementary School. So, and it's all donated money. It's all free time that we all donate from. We all bring a little something to the table from our own experiences and our own profession. So it's been a great experience. I think Derek's enjoying it too.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Like we were just talking about it before we came in there Friday. Like, we know that this town is full of innovators, forward thinking. We crashed. Like some states don't come back as quickly as we did. So, but I really contribute that to the great leaders like the convention center, like Las Vegas events, what they do, like all the amazing organizations that really, the governor's office, Mayor Marsh has been, amazing what she's brought to Henderson, but just the mindset of the leaders that we get to be around, and just to see like Captain Buck just said, like on the people, the stuff that we learned Friday was unbelievable. I didn't know half the stuff and that I thought I knew until Friday, but that's been going on continually. We've had every weekend, every Friday, every first Friday of the month when we get together, Henderson Chambers always giving us something that's amazing. We've learned so much, and that leadership program has probably been one of the best, if not the best program that I've been a part of, because 100% right, there was 34 people, well, 33, with me is 34, but with 34 people, like we just getting to know like one another, first name, and we all became friends. Now we know everyone by their first name, and it's just been exciting just to get to to have Captain Buck here. Like had we not been in Henderson Leadership, we probably wouldn't know one another. Now we're good friends, and I get to have you on our podcast, which we get to educate people why Henderson is so great, why you work there, why we live there. The schools are probably the best in Nevada. There's just amazing leaders, like Lake Las Vegas, another great place to be. Lake Las Vegas has the only yacht in Las Vegas, so right, it's in Lake Las Vegas. I mean, we get to meet so many amazing people that are spearheading up all these great things in Henderson. And the funny thing is, we're the 20th class, so we're the class of 2020. So there's been 20 classes before us, so we have a special bond with being 20 years into what Henderson Leadership is.
I love, just seeing, obviously being closer on Derek's end, seeing, the folks that we get to connect with through the leadership course and learning more about Henderson. I know I'm a huge fan of Henderson now. I went down to Water Street. I think Water Street's one of the coolest places. What they're doing down there, the restaurants, just kind of that whole area. I every time I go down there, I really enjoy it. It reminds me of East Nashville. And I think that Water Street's going to be something special. Well, it already is something special. I think that it's going to continue to gain popularity as they continue to make renovations and bring new businesses in. It's pretty cool out there.
Yeah. Listen, Kelly Green is doing an amazing job. I was just thinking about this first. We toured Toro College. We've been Nevada State College. We didn't know what Nevada State College did until 2 months ago when we went there and realized that 90% of the people that go there are from our state, in which we're growing our own, medical force here with nurses through Nevada State College. So I didn't know any of that. So Kelly Green and what Metro Chamber has done is unbelievable, because we're learning so much about, you think you know stuff until you get to meet people that are doing bigger things than you ever imagined.
Yeah, the Henderson Chamber, it's a phenomenal organization and what they're up to. That makes a good point, though. Captain Buck, for the schools, how are you guys plugged into education, and what efforts and partnerships do you have, through the school system, and also anything with colleges as well?
So the school system has their own police department, the Clark County School District Police Department. They have school resource officers at the high schools, but not at the elementary schools. So we make it. We employ what's called geographical policing. So we take the city and we carve it up into little geographical pieces, if you will. They're broke down into area commands. I'm in charge of West Area Command, and so I'm familiar with all the schools and all the partners we have in the area. And then it breaks down into sectors and ultimately into beats. And so the beat sergeants that have, or the beat officers that have a school in their area, they go in, they'll get to know the principal, they'll get to know the school resource officers. We offer them any aid that we can, but really it's a give and take with the school resource officers from the school district. We really take a lot more. Those guys are huge. They know the kids. They know what's happening. They know who lives where, who's dating who. So we lean on them a lot when it comes to intel on criminal activity. So, but we do a lot of. We have our community relations unit. They go out and they hit the kids twice. They hit them in the lower grades and then in the upper grades. And it's about don't do drugs. It used to be the DARE program. They kind of changed that, but they go out. We get with the kids. We show them where they're friends. We kind of give them a direction, let them know we're there, talk to them about some of their options they're going to have later on in life, and just kind of really just sink in, hey, the police are there, we're your friends, we're the good guys, you can call on us if you need us.
Yeah, guys really are.
I love it, man. And, if you were going to leave, I love it, when we spoke earlier, and you spoke into, you guys going through hiring, going through recruitment.
Right.
For anyone that's watching this right now, what would you leave and extend to them as one of the more important reasons to consider coming to work for you and for Henderson?
Listen, so Henderson's a great place to work. The city, I love the city of Henderson. I know when I tested with several police agencies. I was hoping for Henderson, but that's how it works. You throw your name out and you take the first one that offers you a job. And I was hoping it was Henderson because when I called these other departments, I was a number, I was a person, I was put on hold. When I called Henderson, they talked to me like a person. They called me back. It was a personal experience when I hired on with this city, with every department with this city, and it's still like that. When I call places, because I live in Henderson, so I'm a citizen too, so I still, I'll call the water department or streets or whoever I need. I'd call them these different resources as a citizen, and I'm put right through. I'm not treated like a number. I love it. So it's a great department. We're a family. It's we have 392 sworn officers. That's the size of our department. We also have 96 corrections officers. The city, we run our own jail. So our police department and our corrections, we're always hiring. It's always there. It's always on the cityofhenderson.com through human resources. You can find out what job postings there are. So it's great. The city, we're not the small city we used to be. We're 107 square miles, and the police department has a budget of $121 million. So we're doing big things in the city. We have a population of 317,000, and so we drew almost 30,000 reports last year. So big things happening. The department's making moves. We're leveraging technology. There's places to grow. We start out at $55,000 a year for guys to start the academy. So we're paying you to go to school. So yeah, it's a great department to work for.
And obviously, connectivity. That's what I'm learning more and more is, it's not just, it doesn't appear to be just a job when we get to connect and with other industries and be a part of organizations, like the chambers, and really just be a part. And I love that you said it's not just a number, because that's true, man. I feel like we just continue in Henderson, that it's still that small town family feel as
really
we
is.
explode into a bigger, part of what is now Las Vegas. And I think it's special. So anybody considering, guys, please reach out. What steps do they need to take to start the process if they are interested in a job?
So first thing to do is get your name on the list. You go to cityofhenderson.com through the HR. We're actively recruiting. Get your name on the list. I would recommend that if somebody's kind of teetering whether this is a job for them or not, to do a ride along. We offer ride-alongs to all our citizens. I think, did you sign up for yours yet, Derek?
I just saw the link from Kelly, but we can go on a ride along.
Oh man, sign me up.
That's a great experience. Now listen, you'll have one of two reactions to it. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. Some people just decide, hey, this isn't for me, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. But some people like me, I did a ride-along when I was in high school, and I fell in love with it ever since. I knew there was no doubt in my mind that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. So.
Yeah, I have a smile, ear to ear because I would enjoy it. I probably might switch professions.
Oh, man.
But I'm getting. I would probably enjoy it. I mean, that's exciting. The adrenaline must be,
Are you ready for the ride-along?
I'm ready.
I think it's incredible. I didn't even realize that was an opportunity.
You can do it too.
Believe me, I'm considering signing up after this podcast, guys.
I got the link, and we got it just yesterday.
Would they let us go live from a ride along? I don't know if that's possible, but that would be a great way to recruit.
Well, I think nowadays, I mean, there's dash cams and there's chest cams.
Oh yeah, so that's a huge part of it now. This state mandated that we carry. So we had dash cams. The state mandated that we have body cams. Our department decided to do both.
Yeah.
So we carry, I don't have one on me now, but we carry a camera right here with a little hole in our shirt. Records all our interactions with the public. Then we have one on the dashboard too.
Awesome.
I mean, that's great for safety for our police officers because, and then it's good for the public because sometimes people have a tendency to lie and they say stuff that police officers have never done, and you guys have that, and I'm glad that they went that way because it protects you guys for everything that you do for us. Like, I think that's a great protection.
I think it's a really great move. Would you agree? Has it been have things been I would say better for you since the cameras have been installed?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So that's kind of a mixed reaction. So when they first put them in, nobody liked them. Okay, myself included. Imagine having somebody look over your shoulder, second guessing everything you do for 10 hours a day. Yeah. And that's really what's happening. So, but what we found out after we had them for a year or two is that the guys are doing the job right. They're out there doing the right thing. They're treating the public correctly. Hands down, it has gotten way more people out of trouble than it ever has gotten people in trouble. So it's great for us.
Some of us already knew they were doing a great job.
Yeah.
And of course, I definitely want to respect your time here, Captain Bug. I know you have probably some incredible things to do here today, but, something that I wanted to speak into, outside of recruitment. And again, thank you so much for coming today. It really means a lot to share. But are there any tips to the listeners on safety or any resources that they can use for personal safety here in the community?
Yeah, so I've got a ton of safety advice. The first and foremost is just be aware of your surroundings. See something, say something. Our best tool that we have as a police department is the citizens. If I drive through your neighborhood, I don't know what's normal. I don't know who belongs there. I don't know who has a pool man or whatnot, but you do. You know your house. You know your neighborhood. You know your neighbors. If you see something out of the ordinary, call us and let us know because even if we drive a marked police car through there, they might not spot it. So we always have 311 available. If it's not an emergency, call 311. It goes to the same people. It's the same people answer the phone. It's just they don't put the priority on 311 that they put on 911. Now, if you see somebody breaking a window, crawling in a house, clearly that's a 911 call. But be aware if you're pulling out of your neighborhood and you see a car parked at the end of the street watching who's leaving, that's suspicious. We need to know about that. If you go to the gym and you see somebody hanging out in the parking lot that doesn't look like they belong, let us know. That's probably our biggest menace is vehicles being broke into at gym parking lots where they watch, they see people leave their cars. They know they're going in the gym they got about an hour window to get in your car now. So that's a huge one to battle. We've been working with the gyms, with the management teams, trying to come up with solutions. And that's starting to creep over to restaurants too. So just be aware of your surroundings. Don't leave valuables in the car, please. If they can see something through the window, they're going to take it. So the trick is to make someone else's car more appealing than yours. So don't leave valuables in the car. If you do have valuables that you need to go in a store or a restaurant or something, please put them in the trunk where they're out of sight. Don't leave them. Laptops, phones, and whatever you do, please, please, please don't leave a gun in the car. We've had many guns get taken out of cars. Don't ever secure your weapon in a car. If you have it and you're going somewhere where you can't have a weapon, secure it, hide it in the trunk somewhere. Don't leave it under the seat or in the door because that's where everybody leaves them. Another thing is when you park in your driveway, this is becoming big. Lock your car doors and don't leave a remote control in your car for the garage door. What we're seeing is people going down the street, finding unlocked cars. Now they're rifling through the cars, and there's a remote. Now it becomes from a theft from a vehicle, it comes into a home burglary because they got access to your garage. Now they're in your garage stealing stuff. Now if you don't lock the garage door between your house and your garage, now it just turned into a full-fledged burglary. So really, those are the big things we're seeing right now. Please, 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 lock your car doors. Don't leave valuables in the car, and don't leave remote controls to the garage in the car. Don't give them an avenue to enter your house.
So great.
Yeah, man, I really thought that would be important to share. And it's things that I feel like folks sometimes just don't think about. And I heard a few things I probably can make adjustments to, honestly. So I appreciate you sharing.
I'm guilty too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, as you're going through the checklist,
I know the
was
risk,
like,
but yeah, please. It saves us a lot of work on the back end. And just be aware. Be aware of
Especially
what's going on.
the firearm is a big one, because I saw that on the news, not that long ago. That's, people breaking the cars, they steal your firearm. Now you have some criminal has, a gun, and they're selling the gun, and you never know what's going to happen. So it's malice when just leaving it around. So,
well, Derek, you have anything for Captain Buck as we wrap up?
I the only thing I have is I appreciate our friendship, and I'm so grateful that you came in here today. I've been wanting to just have a conversation and kind of share Henderson, why it's so Henderson's special to me. Our friendship is special, but knowing that you're protecting us in Henderson, especially on my side of town, I'm just really grateful, and I really thank you.
Well, that means a lot to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me in. We're always trying to get our word out. We're always trying to educate the public on what they can do to remain safe and to help us, curb crime in Henderson. So, yeah, it's a great city. I love it here. I appreciate you guys having me.
Anytime we can help, please, of course, let us know. We'll be ready. I don't know what we can do to serve you, but we're absolutely always game to support. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Living Large Las Vegas. This one was awesome. I'm excited to share it. Give us some feedback. And, of course, if you're out there and you're looking for a job and you want to work for an incredible department, don't forget to visit the city of Henderson and really let Captain Buck know. I know that we can definitely use the support. Guys, best of luck, and we will tune in to next week.